back, relax, and maybe get yourself a snack. Me and you gonna have a little chat about books. Hey guys, so I'm here today to do a fun video. My child, if you don't know, I've got a small son. He is now 2 years old. I did some videos when he was 1 and 1.5, or maybe even 6 months, I can't remember now, of books that he was into. And I feel like it's going to be fun for me to look back on the books he was into, and maybe it'll help you guys if you've got nephews, nieces, kids of your own, friends, kids who you need to buy books for or presents for. Maybe this will help you to choose some books that they might be interested in. So I'm going to do a rundown of some of the books that he really likes at age 2. He is 2 and 2 months at this point, so only just over 2. He loves these books, and some of them are repeats that have like continued on, and he still enjoys them, but there are quite a lot of new ones or books that we picked up since. There's one book that I love because of the illustration style. There's lots of books that I love for the story, and I think the illustrations are great as well. So let's run through it, let's talk about them. Let's get started. So one I might have mentioned before in a previous video is this series by Tom Fletcher, which keeps having new books added. So we have this one, There's a Dragon in Your Book, but there are loads. I think there's a bear, there's a monster, there's all sorts of different ones. And we've picked up a couple of the others from the library because he really loves this. He loves the interactive side of this book. It's all about how the dragon is doing stuff like setting the book alight, and you as the reader need to imagine water to put it out, or you need to help the dragon to fly by flapping the book. You need to imagine some food for it, all that sort of thing. So it's lots of fun. It means that the child is really being interactive with the story, and it just is fun for him. He really enjoys it, and he quite often picks this one up now on his own, and he'll sit and he'll read it to himself. He's getting quite good at just picking up books and like sitting there and flicking through the pages. He remembers so much story from books now. It's wild how much kids can remember, but they really can. They can like memorize entire stories sometimes. So yeah, this series in general, he absolutely loves. I think we might have to pick up a few more of them because, as I say, we borrowed a few from the library. He loves the others as well. Really recommend this series. It's just fun. Moving from fun into fun but learning, we've got a couple of books that I got sent actually, and I have really enjoyed reading these with him, and he's really getting into them. So this one is Opposites. It's a question and answer book, and what I like about this is that it tells the kids the opposite things, but also they give you little prompts as the parents to ask the kids, which kind of helps you to explain the opposite effects to the kids. And now he is starting to really understand what is big, what is small, that kind of thing. So this one and the rest in this series are really good. We also have the 1, 2, 3s. He's really into numbers at the moment. He can go up to 20, and he's absolutely loving counting. So this one only goes up to 10, but he can go up to 20, and he loves counting things. He's always counting things. If he sees numbers, he points them out. He's really, really interested in letters and numbers at the moment. So having books that kind of back that up and show that to him is great. 2 more, which are slightly more for older kids, but really good for his age, is First Words, Science Around Us. Now this one is all about different science stuff. There's absolutely loads of words. He does not know a lot of the things in here yet, but we're just starting with this one now. So there's stuff in the kitchen. This is really good to kind of get him familiar with ideas of what he can and can't touch in the kitchen, that kind of stuff. Outside, he's really interested in weather at the moment. So this page has been a lot of fun for him, but there's also inside the house, inside the library, out and about. There's loads of different pages and loads of things for the kids to spot on the page. So if you're looking for something that's fun but a little bit educational too, this sort of book is really good. So we've got this one, which is the First Words Science, and then we've also got this one, which is specifically around the home. These were all sent to me, but I really, really like them, and I cannot recommend them more highly to you because he loves them as well, which is obviously what you want when you buy a kid a book. You want them to love it. Moving on from learning ones into just interesting ones that kind of teach not only about words, letters, numbers, all the academic stuff, but also about like life. So this one is In Every House on Every Street. And I love this book because it talks about how children and how families not only live in their houses, but also all the things that can happen, all the emotions they can go through. Sometimes you want to dance in silly outfits around the kitchen and have fun. And sometimes it talks about pulling funny faces, plaiting up their hair and cleaning. It's kind of all the odd jobs and things that you might do around the house. There's also a little bit about being sad up in the corner. So I think it really values, like, every emotion is valid. And it's a different kind of look at what can happen around your house. It's a rhyming one, this one, and I just think the illustrations are lovely as well. And then it also at the end kind of points you out that all the different houses have different stuff going on. Another series which I might have shown Fox's Socks from, but these are two more in the series. We now have Postman Bear and Cat's Cookbook. We originally had Fox's Socks as well, which we still have. It's upstairs somewhere. This is a series by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. Now, he loves a lot of their books, but this series he particularly enjoys because it's quite short and it's easy for him to open up the pages, and then they all have flaps on them, and flaps is a big thing. He loves flaps. Some of the flaps have been ripped out. Looking at this one, there is some sellotape, so just be wary if you're giving a book with flaps to a small child. They might rip it to pieces, but he loves this book. Well, all the ones in this series, really, he absolutely loves. So yeah, they all have flaps. Postman Bear, Cat's Cookbook, then there are loads of others. I think there's like 8 in the series at the moment or something. I don't know if there's still more coming out, but they're the Tales of Acorn Wood, and he seems to really enjoy these. Again, they are rhyming ones. He does like a rhyming book. I enjoy reading rhyming books out loud far more than I enjoy just text. I don't know, it just feels more fun. Moving on to 2 more, which are kind of learning, but also fun for him. This one is The Big Book of Feelings. I recently picked this one up for him. He is definitely starting to understand emotions a bit. At his nursery, he talks in circle time. They all do a session on like feelings and how everyone's feeling that day. So I picked this one up for him because it definitely seems to be a topic of conversation. He's certainly got into the mindset of being able to say he's happy, he's sad, he's tired. He doesn't know all of them yet. There's like calm, proud, scared, jealous, that sort of thing. He's not quite, understanding those concepts yet, but the idea of reading a book which discusses feelings is good, and it tells you a little bit about when you might experience that thing. And then his favourite page, of course, is the one at the back, which is where you open up the flaps and find the ones over here. So he loves flaps, and this book has quite a lot of them. In the same theme, and I think by the same publisher, there's also My First ABC. This publisher do loads of different books in this sort of style, and I really, really like them. It's the Nosy Crow publications, and this one is great. It is ABC related. As I said, he's super into letters at the moment. He can do quite a few letters. He knows M is for mummy, and J is Jamie, his name, and D is daddy, and he knows L for lion, like quite a few different letters he knows. And I think this book is obviously a part of that. He also has lots of letters that go in the bath, which I think are also a part of him learning his letters, but he's really getting into letters. Again, this one does have flaps, so you can open them up with your kids, and they seem to love that. So he's really enjoying this particular book quite a lot at bedtime, and just when he's fancying a read, he can open this one up and he can tell mummy some of the letters, which he loves. Moving on to one that is definitely too old for him at the moment, but I picked it up because I just fell in love with it, and I have read it to him when he's chilled out and tired in bed. He does listen to it, but does he get the story? I don't think so. However, I love it. The illustrations for this, they're just gorgeous. It Fell from the Sky by the Fan Brothers. They've got a couple of other titles which I would like to pick up just for myself because they're so beautiful, but this illustration style is just to die for. This is, as I say, it's probably a bit old for him really. It's a little bit wordy, but it's all about a marble which falls down from the sky into the land of the insects, and the spider wants to try and take the marble from everyone and not let them come and see it. And it's kind of his story about what happens when he takes this marble from everyone, and how everyone is not friends with him anymore because he's taking it off them. But yes, it's really beautifully illustrated. I think you'll agree. It's just stunning, like stunning. I kind of bought this for myself half as well. It does have a little paragraph on each page, and there's quite a lot of pages. So I will say, for him at this age, it's not necessarily something he can read on his own, or even that I'd let him read on his own because it's too pretty. But it is something he will listen to if he's feeling a bit tired and he just wants to chill out. He will listen to a longer story, and that's kind of when I've been reading this one to him and just looking at it myself because it's gorgeous. One which I'm really proud of him liking is this series, the Charlie and Lola books. We only have 2 of the actual Charlie and Lola ones. I think there's quite a few. But I picked one of these up in a charity shop. Actually, I might have got them both in a charity shop. But yeah, he is really into these at the moment. I loved Charlie and Lola as a kid. It is still on TV, I believe, but he's not really watched it much. But I loved these books when I was a kid, and I'm super pleased that he is also getting into them. Charlie and Lola, if you don't know, the text throughout, the typography is really fun across the page. The layouts are really enjoyable, and it kind of tells you as a reader how to read the story through how the text is laid out and how the kind of cutout applique style artwork is put in. It's about Charlie and Lola, who are brother and sister. Lola's the younger sister. Lola's usually getting up to trouble and Charlie's usually trying to stop her, but together they have great fun imagining things and playing and just enjoying themselves. So I would highly recommend this series. There's other books by the same author which are not in the Charlie and Lola series, and they're also good. We've got the Big Bad Book, I think, and I'm definitely excited to get more of these when he gets a little bit older because I just think they're great. So no doubt we will pick up more of these. Next up, I have a book which we picked up, I think, when we were on holiday for him. This is called Home. It's a really sweet one. It's all about the different animals and their homes throughout the winter and the summer months. It's all about where each animal lives. They've got little cutouts on the page which show you the next animal as they're coming up, and he enjoys the cutouts because he likes spotting things through the page. I think that's definitely something kids are really into, and he is no exception to that rule. So the artwork is stunning for this one as well, I have to admit. It's just super gorgeous artwork. So yeah, really recommend that one. It's by Patricia Hegarty and Britta Teckentrup. This one is a fun one. This one's called I Would Rather Hug a Tiger, and it's by Lorna Scooby. He likes this one a lot at bedtime. It's all about how the little panda doesn't want to follow the rules of the mummy panda, but in the end he realizes he does need to sometimes, and even though he wants to play and have lots of fun, mummy is telling him the right sort of stuff to do, and at the end of the day, he's kind of thinking adults never have fun, but his mum proves him wrong by having fun at the end as well. So this one's beautifully illustrated. It's very easy pictures to look at and very easy to read out. So I highly recommend this one if you've not heard of it as well. It's good fun, and he likes going, no thank you, I would rather, and then whatever it is. This one I might have shown before, I can't remember, but he really loves this, and he went through a phase of absolutely adoring this one. Every night he would sit in his bed and he would read it out to me. He learned all of the different pages, so it is a counting book, but it doesn't feel like it is. It's like 1 famished fox, 2 sly eyes, and it's just the adventure of this fox as they go through a hunt in the hen coop and what happens, although there are no injured hens at the end. It's more of a fox being silly and the hens kind of actually triumph over him. It's beautifully illustrated again. It's by Kate Reed, and I just, yeah, love this one. He does as well. I think the nice thing is that he knows all these numbers now and he can sit there and he can read it himself in bed, which is really cute. This one he got given for his birthday, Dr. Sorus, by Emmy Lou May and Leah Martin. This one he loves, and the reason he loves it mainly is because one of the dinosaurs who is ill, he has a tummy ache, and then he ends up doing a very big poo. Now that's very exciting for children. They absolutely love poops and wheeze and talking about their bits and pieces. It's just an exciting thing for kids, isn't it? So, you know, there it is, the giant poop that comes out of the dinosaur. It's about a doctor who goes around and helps the dinosaurs, so it is fun and it does have rhyme and it is a nice story anyway. But yes, admittedly, his favourite part is the poop, so, you know, kids. Next up, I might have shown one of these before, I can't remember, but he's getting more and more into this one now. This is Granddads Camper, and actually there's another one now which is called Grandad's Pride. Now I love this series of books because it talks about a gay granddad who had a partner, and his partner has passed away by the time that we're kind of picking up the first story, but it's all about how his granddaughter helps him to make his camper van over so that he can go out and enjoy kind of the lifestyle he had when his partner was around. And then the second one is much more overt in the LGBT themes, in that it is talking about the granddad celebrating Pride and telling his granddaughter what Pride is and doing a Pride parade around the town. And this one's only just recently come out, I think, so it's super colourful. It's really just all about diversity and appreciating Pride for what it is and celebrating people, whoever they are. And it's exactly the kind of lessons you want to be teaching your kids. So we love the art style, we love the story, and we love both of these books. And no doubt if there are more, we'll get the others because they're just too lovely not to, really. Very, very nice. They've also got lots of different race of people in here, so it's a real mixture, which is lovely to see. Another one that he's pretty into now is Elma, a good old classic. You can't go wrong with Elma. The patchwork elephant who is different to all the other elephants and wants to fit in, but then realises actually being different is good. If you've not read Elma, then I highly recommend checking it out. But yeah, he loves this story now. He's definitely getting into it. He knows about how Elma goes and squashes the berries to turn grey, and then he washes them off again. And then they always have a big parade at the end, which is really fun. One that he has got massively into recently is this one, the Go Away Bird. Now, he loves saying the words go away. Don't ask me why, kids just have things that they particularly like, and he loves, when he's in a mood, shouting, go away. So we found this book in the shop after that phase had begun, and we thought, you know what, he is always shouting go away, let's embrace it and try and turn it into something else. So this is about the go away bird who doesn't want to play with any of the other birds. She just wants them all to go away, and she's not happy with any of them coming to join her. And then in the end, all the birds come back and help her in her time of need, and she realizes that actually instead of saying go away, she should be saying come and stay to all her friends because they've helped her out. So it's a beautiful story, and I highly recommend this one. As I say, he's really into it. He loves shouting, go away, go away, go away, but he also enjoys finding out about what the birds are doing and saying, and the art style is really pretty as well. This one's by Catherine Rayner on the illustrations, so really, really like that art. Highly recommend. It's still by Julia Donaldson, so it is one of her books, writing-wise. Next up we have Sticky by Anna Dougherty. This one is just a fun one. It's all about how Badger decides to wrap up a present, and then the sticky tape that he's using to wrap the present is far too sticky, so not only does he get stuck, but also all the other animals get stuck when they're trying to help him. And it's a big sticky mess, but eventually along comes Owl, who is the recipient of the present, and he opens the present, and thank goodness it's a pair of scissors, so he can rescue them. But it's a fun one. It's just easy, fun reading. He really likes it. He likes shouting, they all got stuck. Next up is a really sweet one that I found in a charity shop. This is called Hello Moon. It's apparently by the same author who wrote Horrid Henry. He's a little bit young for that, but I think he will enjoy that when he gets older. Hello Moon is very simple. It's just a conversation that the little boy is having with the moon, and just talking about what the moon gets up to and how the moon doesn't really have any close by friends, so he will be the friend for the moon. My son is obsessed with the moon and the stars. He just absolutely loves them and has since he was young. We did a Moon and Stars birthday for him when he was 2. So yeah, he loves this one. He always enjoys just listening to it. Something very peaceful about this one. It's not rhyming, I don't think, but he just enjoys it. So yeah, we like that. Next up, another one I picked up because it's very relevant to him at this stage in his life. Too Noisy. He is always noisy. He loves noise. He loves shouting. He loves enjoying himself and charging around the house. Sometimes we have to be a little bit quiet. So this book I kind of bought with the intention of hopefully explaining that to him. I don't think it's worked fully yet, but it is a fun story with some nice illustrations, and it's all about how this one character from a very busy family is trying to get some peace and quiet, but he also misses his really busy kind of wild family, and in the end they all come back. Next up, another one which I don't know if he's fully on board with yet. I think this one will be soon when he's a little bit older, and this is called The Book with No Pictures. Now this one is all about making whoever's reading the book look a bit silly, because there are literally no pictures, it's all just words, but whoever's reading it has to do exactly what it says, and the words which are in there are silly words. They don't really exist, or they're just making jokes or whatever. So it is amusing to read out to the child, and I think they will enjoy it, and he does enjoy it, but it doesn't necessarily get chosen by him yet. I think when he starts realising how silly Mummy and Daddy look reading it, he will choose it more. But yes, at the moment it's just an interesting book that we pick up every now and then. It's not one of his favourites, but I think it's on its way. Speaking of favourites, two of his absolute favourites are We Are the Shapes. He's really interested in shapes at the moment. He knows most of them, even like hexagons and things. I'm amazed that he knows that sort of thing, but he does. So this is a series, I think. This is a book which is all about how squares and triangles are quite different to each other and what they get up to. They have a bit of an argument in the middle, and they're trying to build a rocket ship to get to the moon, but it doesn't quite go as planned. Circle comes in to sort of be a mediator because he's round. It's very punny, I will say that, and I do hope that they do more in this series because I think it's great. I like the style of art, and I think it's just a simple but effective story about shapes, so he really enjoys this one. And the final one that I'm going to talk about, because I know this is a long video, but there's just too many cute books to discuss. This one is Meet the Weather. Now, I said to you earlier, he is really interested in the weather at the moment, and that is largely, I think, due to this book. I credit this book with all of that, really. There are more in this series, and I definitely want to get them. There's Meet the Planets and Meet the Oceans. I definitely need to pick those up because he's super interested in this. I do enjoy the art style. It says it's illustrated by Bethan Wolvin, and it's written by Carol Hart. Really love these. It's just simply a rhyming story that goes through all the different types of weather. So we have a hot air balloon and we go through the sky, we meet the clouds, then we meet the wind, and we meet the thunder and lightning, and we meet the tornadoes, we meet fog. It's just lovely, and the art style is just so interesting and engaging and beautiful, and the stories are great. He really knows all the weather now because of this book, and he's just super excited about it every time we read it. He loves it, so highly recommend that one as well. If there are any books that you guys would highly recommend for a 2-and-a-bit-year-old, please let me know, because I'm always on the lookout for books, and I absolutely love reading him new stories, and he is such a bookworm at the moment, which I really hope continues. So yes, please do leave me any recommendations that you guys have. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Bye all. What's on the next page?
A pine cone.
The squirrels are trying to get the pine cone.
It's falling down.
Oh no, is it falling down?
A button.
They can't get to it. Or rather. Uh-oh.
It stopped.
It's stopped. Do you think it might fall off, or do you think it's okay?
I'll fall off.
You think it might fall off? Should we have a look on the next page?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Bird.
It fell down in the water, and then the bird coming in to get it?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Take the bird. On a pine cone.
Did the bird take it?
And the squirrels are off it.
The squirrels are still going over the edge. Uh-oh, did they fall down in the waterfall?
On a pine cone.
The pine cone's gone with the bird, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Pine cones. On a bird.
It's gone with the bird.
What's pine cone?
The squirrels are just being friends now. Look, do they have any pine cones?
No.
What do they have?
Thank you for watching my video today. Go pick up a book, then come back and chat with me again.